Yeah, so have you heard of the body positivity movement, and how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to try and recall. It's been a couple of years. It's been going for at least a little bit of time. I remember remembering it properly. It was a huge movement, especially around like burn victims and people who had like suffered, dangerous injuries. And it was about saying, "Hey, this is a part of who we are. There's something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of."
I've only heard from it from like the outside. All I know is that love everybody, support every type of body.
Usually when I think about body positivity, it's like within my own context, like trying to stray away from like comparing myself to others and just like striving to remind myself that beauty is a social construct, not real. I can live my life without thinking about the way I look.
Beautiful. What about you?
Ditto. I also think it's just in general movement that's gained a lot of traction recently, especially I think I see a lot of body positivity videos on like TikTok and things like that. So it's cool to see that movement being so popular and
I think so, mostly.
What do you think about it?
I think it's just kind of the idea that all bodies are beautiful and just supporting your body, kind of not necessarily societal standards and such.
Like, how do you think social media is affecting like people's beauty standards and ideals? Do you ever compare yourself to people you see online?
I personally don't, but I have a younger sibling. Like I have a younger sister. Like I know it's a horrid thing that people see these, completely sculpted and underfed people. Like, yeah, this is what it looks like. It's like, no, you're just gonna be dizzy when you stand up. Like that's. But I don't think social media helps a whole lot in terms of encouragement.
So that's like a lot of the times that I compare myself. I find myself comparing myself to other people, mostly on social media rather than in person. And it's really hard sometimes, like when you're scrolling through, just not compare yourself, because that's really like when people are just sharing pictures of themselves, especially when it's like orchestrated to like look their best and you're only posting your best. It's hard to not. But I remember like when I post on social media like Instagram, I'm only choosing the best pictures out of like so many where I look the best and then posting that. So I just try to remember that other people are doing the same thing, and to not compare like how you feel at the current moment to like someone's like very best.
I mean, a lot of the time it was like I'm feeling like myself as being lazy if I don't say compare myself to them, or like if I don't work towards the perfect body shape, I would feel like it's my fault, not the. I don't know. I feel like that's the way I think.
I think definitely. I recently deleted Instagram just because it was just like, I don't know, mostly because there's a distraction, but also because, I don't know, I felt like it's not very true. And I think that body positivity is very much affected by Instagram and social media. I don't know if I find myself doing it that much, but I definitely have, and I know people who have too. Yeah.
For sure, I think social media is very toxic in terms of body image. I think a lot of people don't realize that these images are being altered to make you look better, or like these images are not a real depiction of a lot of people. And then also I think oftentimes I'll see like in the comments of like people's posts, people then hating on themselves, and so it like turns into this entire cycle of like you see someone like you mentioned at their very best, and then you think about yourself and then you start to internalize that and then comment about how you feel bad about yourself. It's this like self-hating cycle, and it's not a good time.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely going in the right direction. Clothing brands now have like models of like different shapes and sizes now. I feel like it's definitely bettering society.
I think there was a point in time where I did, and I just had to stop it because I don't think it was really healthy. And I feel like even here at Cornell, this, I guess, body image is something I know a lot of my friends struggle with. Seeing a lot of people who are like thin and work out often and are in shape, and knowing that that's like not everyone, right? And it can be hard to conform to that, right?
Yeah, fun fact, it's very hard to get abs. So whenever I see people who have well-defined abs on Instagram, I think two things. One, how dehydrated are they? And two, how realistic is that? So, but that's the thing, we see that and we think that that is the norm. And when in fact that's definitely out of like the range of a lot of people, myself included. So we think of ourselves more towards thinking of an exception instead of norm, and Instagram's really, really messed up what we think is normal.
How do you think it's affected your friends and in your organizations and stuff you're in?
Not that I have noticed. I don't think like a lot of my friends are just like average shaped and yeah. So I don't know.
Sure. I guess I think in my immediate friend group, I don't think we think about it too much. I think we agree that it's worth it. Having that extra shake or fryer is worth it.
Solid.
But it's, yeah, but I definitely know, like I have a younger sister and I know I have, other friends where it's like, oh, we're not gonna do lunch today because it's more important to leave this family. I was like, no, it's more important that like you
You
can
gotta
make
eat.
it
Yeah.
through the day.
It's-
Yeah. So
Never skip meals, guys.
Yeah.
no, have an extra one.
Definitely my friends. Definitely my generation. I feel like more
Gen Z for
just
sure.
sort of tapped in.
It's not really so much in classes. That isn't where I've noticed it as much, but more like I think like me and my roommate, when we volunteered off campus, there was one time where he just noticed that just the demographic from the people in downtown versus Cornell is really different, and just their sort of body types are different too. And if it's okay for me to say this, like there's lots of people that are not as like thin and not as like in shape, and I guess just going around also seeing so many people who go running and like work out super often and somehow manage that on top of like schoolwork and responsibilities is like really mind-blowing. So it's just like things that I've thought about before. I think just one way that I've kind of come to terms with like staying in shape and being fit is just that you're not comparing yourself to anybody, and what sort of works for me in terms of how I keep in shape, even if it's not running, I don't know, like 20 miles the way people can do in like, in a day's work. I can be content with that, and I don't really need to like look for